President of the International March of the Living, to deliver our closing remarks, after which we will do Hatikva. Thank you all for attending this evening and for joining us in our mission to heal the world.
Mr. Ambassador, honored guests, fellow board members, and to each and every one of you who have graced us with your presence this evening, I say a heartfelt shalom. If I could ask you to each rise and join me in a moment of silence in memory of each one of our 6 million ancestors who perished in the Holocaust. Thank you. A young girl in Amsterdam once wrote, "Our lives are fashioned by our choices. First, we make our choices. Then, our choices make us." That wise young girl was Anna Frank. She was a victim of the Holocaust, as you all know. Her words, however, her spirit, and her dreams still live amongst each and every one of us and are alive in many of us today. Like each of you, many of us make choices each day of our lives. Those of us at the March of the Living make many choices. One of these choices that we make on a continuing basis is to commit ourselves to do our part to help create a better world for all mankind. We recognize the delicate power that we hold in our hands. That power is education. We take very seriously the role that we play in the education of the next generation of leaders who we hope and pray will choose to embrace our dedication to remember the past with an eye towards the future. In 1988, the very wise founders of this very amazing organization, some of whom are here with us this evening, brought 1,500 participants from the United States and Israel to visit Poland and see for themselves the sites of the attempted destruction of the Jewish people and learn for themselves the use of memory as a component of survival. They had a dream, and we are living to make their dream come true. This year, in 2018, 30 years later, over 12,000 participants will help keep their dream alive as 12,000 dreamers from 150 communities around the world will choose to make that very same journey through time, visit the same sites, and learn the very same lessons about the dangers of all forms of prejudice, intolerance, and hatred, and the importance of standing strong against these very threats to every society. March of the Living educators, community leaders, and alumni will guide today's participants into understanding the importance of memory, the importance of legacy, and the importance of the choices we each make in our lives. And then perhaps, like for many of us here tonight, their choices will then guide them to be better individuals and better members of the human race. It is an awesome feeling, I can assure you, for this first-generation American woman to stand before you here in the United Nations. It is an awesome feeling for this first-generation woman to be in the company of so many kind, well-meaning people devoted to honoring our past, remembering those who came before us, and working to protect the future for those who will come after us. The success and the accomplishments that have brought the March of the Living to reach our 30th milestone comes in many different ways. Of course, we acknowledge and we thank our brilliant founders, those who dared to dream so long ago and turn their dream into a vision that would affect the lives of over 260,000 participants, and I dare say tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of more of those beneficiaries of our continued effort to help ensure the future of Holocaust memory through that all-powerful weapon, I believe, education, education, education. Another important dimension of our achievements in our first 3 decades is our devoted leadership. Our educators who never waver in their commitment to the victims to never forget, but to always remember. These are our special individuals who have chosen to make a difference by embracing the next generation into a clear mission of understanding. And through all this, we are keenly aware of our responsibility to the survivor. The men, the women, and yes, those children, fortunate enough to live through the darkest chapter in all of human history. It is because of their profound determination to not only survive, but to grace the world with their stories, their memories, their unparalleled resistance, that we have come to understand that there is no place in this world where hatred, where bigotry, where persecution of any other human being should be tolerated or condoned by any civil society. It is because of those who have chosen to teach us the lessons of the Holocaust, not through hatred, but through love and through tears, that we, who have chosen to learn their valuable lessons, to learn the lessons of the Holocaust from our beloved survivors, we have chosen to lead our beloved organization, the International March of the Living, to reach this proud milestone in our organizational life. And how blessed we are to do so on the auspicious grounds of the United Nations. Ambassador Danone, our dear, dear friend, on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Shmuel Rosenman, the officers who are here with us this evening, our staff, the volunteers around this world, our very proud participants, I am privileged, I am blessed, I am honored to be the one to extend to you tonight our most heartfelt appreciation for this most meaningful recognition of our commitment to education, to excellence, to memory, and to the future. We believe that we make a difference. We believe that our mission and our experience, our journey through time in Poland, changes lives. And we know that as witnesses of the witnesses, we must not stand silent in the face of injustice. One of our great rabbis of old, the Rav Kook, wisely said, "I do not speak because I have the power to speak. I speak because I do not have the power to remain silent." This is the mantra and the mission of the March of the Living. If we choose to make a difference, we know we can and we know we will. If we choose to make a difference, we have every intention to do so. If life calls upon us to speak, we must and we will. And then, and only then, will this choice of ours help to make each of us become that better person that each of us dreams to be. Our mentor, Elie Wiesel, of blessed memory, has implored us to be silent is to commit the greatest sin of all. So tonight, as we begin our year-long celebration of our 30th anniversary of the International March of the Living, I stand before you to promise that we pledge ourselves to never forget and never be silent. It is indeed our responsibility, our privilege, and our blessing to give voice and dignity to those no longer able to speak. We hold the future in our hands. May Hashem grant us the wisdom to choose wisely and march together into our next decade of teaching, of learning, and of remembering. Thank you.